Hi guys, I'm happy to be here with you once again to do this live training program. I am Dr. Nadine Collins, the founder of the Spiritual Wellness Coaching Movement and the developer of the Certified Prayer Counselor class. And today we're looking at this live training on planning for your wow life in 2019. What would it mean for you if you were to live in reality the life that you dream to be yours? Or what would it mean, if you would live a life that is totally inspiring and impactful, meaning that you're having that impact that you desire to have in the lives of others? How about having the opportunity to launch your dream business or ministry or whatever it is in your niche market that gives you personal and professional fulfillment and great success while you are living out your purpose? I think that is the life that all of us would really want to have. And so in order for you to be able to live that wow life in 2019, you will need to plan for it. And today we're going to spend some time talking about how you can plan for it. And we're going to start with something that we all know about, and it's about dreaming. Now, the thing is, if you want to plan for your wow life in 2019, you need to dream. And I would add to that, not only would you need to dream, but then you need to wake up from your dream and begin to live it in reality. You see, the thing is, history is littered with men and women who understood the power of dreaming, the power of thinking things that seemed impossible for others. But these people knew that all of these things were possible for them with God. You see, I believe one of the most common phrases or times when, the power of a dream is really highlighted is when we speak about, the speech that Martin Luther King Jr. gave, I Have a Dream speech. He gave that speech on August 28, 1963 at the Southern Christian Leadership Conference in Washington, D.C. at the Lincoln Memorial. But the power of his dream statement still impacts us today, even though his speech was made specifically for the fight for jobs and freedom for Black minorities and so on. You see, Martin Luther King Jr. knew that he had to dream in order for it to become a reality. Today, his legacy continues to impact the lives of millions of people in the US and possibly even around the world. You see, at times, dreamers must have appeared stupid, careless, impossible, and probably all sorts of, negative, in a sense, characteristics. But that did not stop them from dreaming. You see, recently, I was watching a video of Steve Harvey talking about his dreams as a child. I was so touched and blessed by his sharing. It was just about a 3 or so minute video, and I will probably look for the link and put it in the bottom so that you too can be inspired by him. But he was saying that when he was in 6th grade, his teacher had given an assignment to the class, and that assignment was to write down what you want to be when you grow up. Now, Steve Harvey was saying at that time that he stuttered, but he wrote on that slip of paper, I would like to be on TV. That's what he wanted when he grew up. So when the teacher collected the assignments, she thought that Steve's dream was absurd, especially for a boy who didn't even talk like anybody else. So she thought because he stuttered, you want to be on TV, what kind of dream is that? These kind of sort of mechanical dreams that people expected us to have when we were kids. I want to be a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, that kind of a thing. So his dream stepped outside of her box, or what she thought was a dream that was possible. And so she did not believe that he took that assignment seriously. And so she asked him to do the assignment again. And in fact, he shared that she even tore through his assignment in front of the class and called his parents later that day. And he thought when he was going home that he was going to get a smack from his parents, right? But when he arrived home, thinking that he'd be punished by his parents and so on because they would perceive his actions as being rude, Steve Harvey's mother, he was upset at what he did, which is write out, I want to be on TV. But his dad was not upset. And so his father was like, so what's wrong with that? And so the thing is, his parents were having an argument and sent him to his room. But as he shared in the video clip, his father later came into that room and told him what to do with the paper. His father said to him, do what the teacher wants you to do. So just write out one of these normal, I want to be this when I grow up. But for your own self, I want you to write exactly what you want to be. You want to be on TV? Write that on a piece of paper and you keep that there in your drawer. His dad said to him every night and every morning before you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning before you start your day and before you go to bed at night, I want you to read out what you have on your paper. And so Steve Harvey said that he learned a principle of success from his father, which is to write down and envision it. Write down and envision what you want to be when you grow up in this context. Now we're talking about your dreams for 2019 and what you want to do, right? So he said that anything you can see in your mind, then you can hold it in your hand. And that almost seems to be a principle of the kingdom. Because the thing is, we speak about, for example, in psychology, I did my undergrad in psychology and my master's in ed psych, and we came at a point where you were told about visualizations and the power of a vision board, and you were told that if you want to be something great, then you need to be able to print that thing, stick it up on a wall, stick it up somewhere where you can see it. Significantly also is what Steve Harvey's dad told him. You put that paper in your drawer and you look at it every morning and you say what you want to be, and you look at it in the night and you read it as well. And so it brings us to that critical point of not just dreaming, but putting your dream down on a piece of paper, having that vision board and so on. So it's really a principle of the kingdom as well, because in Habakkuk 2 verse 2, the Bible says, the Lord answered him saying, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And so there is power in writing down your dreams, writing down these things you want to accomplish, having them on a piece of paper so that you can look at it and say, these are the things I want to accomplish. And I think we covered that 2 weeks ago when we did the live training, Accomplish All of Your Dreams in 2019. I was talking about the power of that to-do list, writing things down. So there is power in it. It's biblical as well. And so from Steve Harvey's story, it was so inspiring to see also that he said that as he began to grow in life and as he began to realize the dreams that he had in his heart, many years later, when he found success in the entertainment industry, he continued to think about that 6th grade teacher. And so every year while she was alive, he said he would send her a television. And the reason why he did that, not just one TV, he would send her one every year because he wanted his teacher to see him. He also said that he kept that paper close by as a way of, helping him go through, but also reminding him of where he came from and the sacrifices that he made and so on. And he ended the statement by saying, or his statement in that video, that little boy with the stuttering problem is on TV 7 days a week. How was Steve Harvey able to do that? He was able to do it because he recognized that there was power in dreaming, but there's also power in writing down his dream. And as his father said, also repeating that dream day and night, because it will keep him focused on that dream. So because Steve Harvey had a dream, he did all that he had to with the help of God to make that dream a reality. That is the power of not just dreaming, but waking up from your dream, also articulating your dream, either verbally to others or to yourself, or writing your dreams down, because I think it keeps you accountable in a sense. Sometimes the dreams you have may not necessarily be yours, right? They could be dreams that were given to you by God. And I think about the character Joseph, Jacob's son, who had multiple dreams about his brothers and even his parents bowing to him. But what happened to him was that he was sold into slavery and he was sold twice and he was thrown in a pit, and all of these different things happened to him. But God had given him a dream. But you have to be as sold out on the dream that God gives you as if it was your original idea. You have to keep the dream that God has given you for your life in front of you on your vision board so that you can see it day and night. And I think about Jeremiah 29:11, where the Bible says, I have great plans for you. plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future, to give you a great expected end. Think about it. God says that's the plans that I have for you. That is God's vision board for your life. God's vision board for you is that you are going to be great. You will have a great expected end. You will have great impact. You are going to do great things. That's his vision board. Now, your job is to now take God's vision for your life, put it in front of you and claim it as if it was your own dream. And so I remember a few years ago when I was preparing to defend my doctoral dissertation, I had in prayer asked God a year and a half before that if it were possible for me to defend my dissertation on my birthday. Things, I went to my advisor actually and I asked her, is it possible that I could defend like a year and a half from now? And she said, yeah, it's possible. So I went ahead and I started doing my stuff, getting things approved in the ethics committee so that I could collect my data and everything, so that I could also prepare to defend my proposal and all that stuff. Things were winding down really close to my birthday. I had everything ready, but it seems that I was not getting the approval I needed to go ahead and defend the proposal. And I remember sharing that with a few friends of mine who actually have significant experience in academia, who had chaired so many dissertation committees and stuff like that. And they said to me, Nadine, it's impossible. There's no way you could defend on your birthday because, it's too soon and so on. But I knew the dream that I had in my heart. I knew the desire of my heart, and I had already planned it out with God. It was not just like my dream. I brought it to him and I had his permission. So I thought to myself, I know what I asked my Father for, so I'm not going to entertain anything else. I remember going to the prayer garden on the campus where I studied, and I would meet with God and I would share with him, the delays that I was having, and I would write down on a piece of paper. I would date it first, and I would write down my request to him, specifically pertaining to my defense. And one of the things that I asked him for, apart from defending on my birthday, was to have a flawless defense. I wanted to defend and not have any corrections to make, because I didn't want anybody to believe that, she's rushing just to do it on her birthday, and so she's not ready. So I remember claiming a text in Isaiah 41:21 that says, produce your cause, I think, bring forth your strong reasons, and so on. And I gave him my reasons, either 20 or 21. But one of the verses was also saying that they may see and know and consider and understand together that the hand of the Lord has done this, and the God of Israel have created it. And so I claimed that. And I asked him for that gift. I wanted that flawless defense. That was the dream that I had for myself. My friends, I defended my proposal and I had no changes to make. So I was able to go ahead, quickly collect my data, and I spent time. I would do it like my work day, just analyzing my data. And then I remembered now, for the defense day itself, my dream, my gift that I wanted from God was for me to have that flawless defense. And so I did defend. And God brought that dream to pass, because when the committee called me back in after the deliberations, they told me that I did not have any changes to make. So the thing is, sometimes you have these dreams in your heart, dreams that seem impossible to people, but you know that with God it's possible. And so you need to hold on to these dreams. You need to keep them in front of your face. You need to keep writing them on pieces of paper, just like I did repeatedly. Every time I fasted and prayed, I was writing down those dreams and those desires that I had to defend on my birthday, and also to have that flawless defense. And so you need to keep on holding on to your dreams and trusting God to bring these dreams to pass. And so for 2019, you will need to focus on a dream that you want to fulfill or accomplish. You need to choose one. You may be very gifted, have many talents and skills, and so many things going on, but you need to be able to focus on at least one of them and say, this is the dream that I am going to focus on in 2019. You need to write it down. Then, if you are having, for example, problems to know what dream you want to focus on, you need to take a look at your passions, look at your skills, look at your personal experiences, both the good ones and the bad ones. because a lot of times we think it's only good things that will actually bring about purpose. But if you look at the world that we are living in, many of the people who have the greatest impacts, their stories came from things that were meant to destroy them. And these things that were meant to destroy them, that God has now used to build them, the tool, actually what they're sharing with the world, the story is what gives them a platform to minister and to have successful businesses and so on. So you need to look at your experiences, look at things that come naturally to you, things that you're good at, or things maybe you didn't even realize you're good at, but somebody else says, wow, you're a great organizer. Or wow, you're really good at doing things systematically. Whatever these little gifts are, these compliments that you get repeatedly, it's an indication of where you're gifted or where you are talented and so on, and where you can actually focus your energies for 2019. So you need to look at that, and if possible, maybe do an inventory test online, find something that would help you to discover what your spiritual gifts are if you're a Christian, or to discover just any of your giftings and then see what your strongest point is and how you can zero in on that point. It's almost like a dissertation. There are so many things that you can write about, and there are so many things that you can focus on in one paper. But you always advise when you're writing a dissertation to almost zero in on a grain of sand versus all the sand by the sea. And that's what I want you to do as you plan for your wildlife in 2019. Focus on that one thing that you want to zero in on and give all your efforts. And I want you to choose that one thing, and then you need to begin to believe that you can achieve it. You see? So first you will choose that one gift or that one skill or whatever it is you want to focus on in 2019. Then you're going to begin to now exercise mind power, willpower, so that you can achieve it. You need to begin to believe. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he, right? So whatever you believe you can achieve, it's yours. And he encourages us in the word to think on these things. And that's why you saw Steve Harvey's father saying, you need to repeat it. You need to repeat it in the night, in the morning. It's like thinking on it, contemplating on it, meditating on it day and night, because this is the thing that you want to accomplish. You see, a common saying goes that if you can believe it, you can achieve it. So now you need to continue to believe in yourself and that dream that you want to come to pass, that dream that God has placed in your heart, that dream that you have written down. And if believing in yourself is a problem, then I suggest that you begin to work on that aspect so that you can actually work on making the dreams happen. Because some people believe in themselves, even when there's nothing around them to indicate that they could be successful. Other people have to working on believing. So if you're that kind of person who first need to work on believing in yourself, work on that, and then begin to plan to make your dreams happen. Constantly, you need to feed your mind with positive thoughts and affirmation. Many times you may have these dreams, you may, put them on that piece of paper, you believe that you can do it, but then every now and again, the doubts come. The doubts come to tell you, that thing you believe in is not possible. I mean, it has never been done before. And that's what was told to me with regard to the flawless defense. They had never heard of it before. So much so that when they came out and they announced, Nadine has passed and she doesn't have any changes to make, and so no recommendations from the committee, one lady shouted, history. She has been in education for over 40 years. And so the thing is, what seems impossible or what seems not to be able to be done can be done when you actually partner up with God. All things are possible. And that's why you will need to feed your mind with positive thoughts. You need to affirm yourself when you begin to feel down and out and you begin to feel as if it's not possible, because tangibly you are not seeing success happening. You're working so hard day and night and it's not coming through, but you need to tell yourself, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. You need to keep believing. You need to have your rituals of affirmations through the word. Use the word to help you affirm the dream that you have. Use the word to help you meditate on good things, meditate on positive things. And when the negative thoughts come, you need to now find ways, develop different, avenues for you to be able to sift out the negative thoughts and instead now put in the positive ones. Have positive substitutions for every negative thought that will come your way, so that you can dispel all of the doubt and all of the disbelief that probably even the enemy is trying to put in your mind, or people might say to you, that's not possible, nobody has ever done it before, you're dreaming too big. I say to myself every time, if I could articulate all of my dreams, then I'm not dreaming big enough. My dream should be so big that I am constantly growing in delivering to the world what the Lord has placed inside of me, impacting the world, what it is that I have to give. Because truly, if I could have cloned myself, I would be happy to do so I could accomplish other dreams. And so my idea for you is, even though you are going to focus on one dream in 2019, you are not limited by that one dream. This is just what you're going to focus on so that you can experience your wow life in 2019. One of the things you could also do is to get help. Get help to make your dream happen. Meaning, if you need to take a class, you need to get a coach, you need to have a mentor, you need to do some YouTube tutorials, free tutorial, whatever it takes for you to accomplish that dream, get the help that you need to make it happen. I remember having dreams, like great dreams for myself at different phases in my life, and I was not sure how to make them happen. And one of the things that happened was, in 2016, God placed a dream in my heart, and he told me exactly, focus on prayer and do that kind of stuff. But last year, 2017, I knew that the dream that God placed on my heart to focus on prayer was not just that one little dream, but I had to go bigger. And so I needed to know how to make it happen. I had so many gifts and so many skills, so many things going my way. But how do I bring all of these things together? How do I, package myself in such a way that I am able to step out into the world with that particular focus on prayer, and be able to bring it so well together that other people would be blessed and impacted by my work and my ministry? And so what I had to do was to now get the services of a coach. I knew I needed to take that leap of faith to hire a coach to help me get from where I was to where I wanted to go, because I knew that I had it in me. I knew all of the stuff. It was just there in bits and pieces, but I needed to get all of that together. And that, coupled with the guidance and assistance from God, I can now testify that 2018 has been one of the most successful and fulfilling and transforming years of my life. So my advice to you is, as you work on, experiencing your wow life in 2019, and you're focusing on, on that one dream that you want to really focus on in 2019, and that you focus on believing, you now get the help that you need to actually bring that dream to pass. You will also need to be willing to make the necessary adjustments in your life so that you can make your dreams a reality. So that means you need to set time apart to learn those new skills I mentioned about. You will need to, be willing to make changes in your life that will support your dreams. For example, one of the dreams that I have for 2019, as I was planning out my 2019 year, I have my annual goal, my quarterly goals, my monthly goals, my weekly goals. One of the goals that I have is to lose 20 pounds. And so now, in order for me to make it happen, I need to also make some adjustments. I can't just expect it to be a dream and I'm doing nothing to achieve it. And so now I had to tell myself, okay, it's either I begin to do a 2-meal plan, I also need to exercise, and I also need to go to bed early. There are adjustments that I will have to make in my life to be able to realize my dreams. And so I remember a discussion I was having with a friend in the UK a few months ago. She's getting ready to write some books. And I was saying to her, in order for you to be able to write these books, you will need to begin to now make adjustments in your schedule that is just focused on you doing your writing. You need to have your plan and everything like that, but you also need to make the space, because having the dream is not enough. You need to do more than that. And that's part of that is really making the life adjustments that you need so that your dreams can become a reality. I would also suggest that you set dates by which you want to accomplish this, like the particular goals to make your dream happen. My same friend was saying to me, you are so focused, because what happens is I write down every day what I want to accomplish. I shared that in the last live training, every day what I want to accomplish. And so I have a big dream, a big goal, but I have all of these little to-do things every day that helps take me closer to accomplishing my bigger goals. So that will help keep you focused on accomplishing your dreams. Recently, as I was planning for 2019, I had to put dates by which I want certain things done. And for losing the weight, I had to do the same thing. By what date do I want to lose 5 pounds? And also how I'm going to make it happen. So you need to keep, your calendar very clear on what you want to do, and use the SMART goals. What they say, I think it's specific, measurable, attainable, and so on. You need to make sure that you do that. Put these goals down toward making your dream happen. And finally, I really want you to think about staying focused on your dream. If you have too many things on the table, too many dreams that you want to do at once, it may derail you from doing what you want to do because you are spreading yourself thin. Every single goal that you have should really be geared toward helping you accomplish the big dream that you have. You also need to stop procrastinating if you're a procrastinator, and recognize that if you want to accomplish your dreams, you will need to step outside of yourself and outside of your norm and your normal way of doing things so that you can accomplish these big dreams. And remember to establish that to-do list. Do that to-do list every day so you can keep yourself accountable and it can keep you focused. And focus also on accomplishing the smaller dreams, the smaller goals that will help the big one come to pass. And always keep your vision and dreams in mind. And that's why, again, we go back to that vision board. Have in mind exactly what you want done. Write it down, type it like I do and most people would do. Type it out, have it there. If you want to print it, you want to stick it on the wall, whatever you want to do, have that vision. And remember that you also need to, in order to stay focused, control your internal and external distractions, because there are so many of them. You need to tell yourself, when you recognize that you are having an internal distraction or an external one, that you need to take steps and make these adjustments so that you can stay focused. It's my personal mantra, and that I stay focused. I believe in living a focus-driven life. And I know I need to take more time to smell the roses. But at the end of the day, what I think is important is for us to recognize the importance of staying focused. And I think yesterday I posted on Facebook that sometimes you see attacks coming your way. You see things are not going the way you want them to go, and everything seems to be falling apart at some time. And we need to recognize that we have an enemy who is after our potential and the mission that God has called you to do. He's not after where you are now, but like I shared yesterday in a post on Facebook, it's really about where you're going that he's after. And so we do not need to be distracted by ourselves or by the things around us, but instead we need to stay focused on the dreams that we have for our lives to accomplish in 2019. Stay focused on the dreams that God has in store for you so that you can live your best life now. Right now, I have focused my life's work on helping Christian women who want to live their wow life. So that's why even as I prepare to end the year, and I'm going through, a very detailed planning session with myself and accountable to my coach as well, I have opened 7 spots to 7 women who are excited about ending 2018 with a clear plan of action, that if they want fulfillment, success, and they want to really make their impact in 2019. And that I have opened up to them, just 7 spots, because it's a 90-minute intensive coaching session that will prepare them to step into the year confidently and fully liberated to live in their wow. So I'm appealing even to the women who are now, if you're ready to step into 2019 confidently and boldly in your calling, if you're ready to live out your dreams in 2019, you can send me a direct message so that you can book your 90-minute intensive personal one-on-one coaching session. I have a special holiday offer for these 7 women. And so if that woman is you, then send me a message. You see, during those sessions, I will take time showing them how they can show up in 2019 totally present and ready to make their mark. Because a lot of us, we live a little aimless. It's from one year to the next, and we're just going with the flow. But you need to show up present, and we're going to deal with that. How can you actually show up present in 2019? We will develop a bold and fierce, confident, and success mindset that will propel you to be totally confident in your calling, in whatever dream God has placed in your heart. We'll work on that, and we will learn how you can take full access of your connection with God so that you can stand apart in your work, in your mission, in your niche, even in what appears to be a crowded world. And so God has enough room for all of us to make our impact. The world is big and there are so many people waiting to be blessed by your dream. So many people waiting to be blessed by your mission, by your vision, by your focus, by whatever business or niche market that's yours. And that's what I want to help people do in 2019 in living out your wow life. So remember, in order for you to experience the success, fulfillment, and impact that you desire, you will need to plan right now so that you can live your wow life in 2019. I thank you guys for being here with me. I trust that you have been inspired to plan for your wow life in 2019. Remember, it all begins and ends with your dream. God bless. Bye-bye.